So, you nerds think you can fight. Galina Voronina, 2016. Hello, I'm Andrew, and I want to welcome you to Visions of the Past, a podcast all about the lore of Assassin's Creed. This is episode 75, and today we're going to talk about a little-known character by the name of My'Shell Lemair. My'Shell appears in 3 places within Assassin's Creed: the comics, Assassin's Creed, and Assassin's Creed Uprising, and within the audiobook, Assassin's Creed Gold, where she is voiced by Layla Payne. Not much is known about My'Shell before she was first seen working with Erudito, seeking out the truth behind Abstergo's Phoenix project in 2016. After the group found out that the project was infiltrated by the Instruments of the First Will, a group dedicated to bringing Juno out of the gray, the leader of Erudito, a woman by the name of Florencia, decided to move the group from just spreading the truth online to fighting for it. To do this, though, Erudito had to move out of the shadows, and My'Shell volunteered to be trained as one of their first field agents. During this training, My'Shell was one of 2 sparring partners of the assassin Galina Voronina, helping her recover from injury and allowing My'Shell to study under the Master Assassin. Once Erudito and the assassins secured a formal alliance, My'Shell was sent with Galina and fellow Erudito member Sheed to capture the rogue assassin Joseph Loret in Somalia. Once the group infiltrated an inauguration ceremony for a local dock that was attended by local Templar Zahira Okor, after discovering that Loret was in the country to kill her, using facial recognition software while trying to find Loret, they were sent to a false match at the docks after Loret spotted them and hacked their software. While alone trying to protect Okor, My'Shell failed to capture Loret as he stabbed her in the shoulder before fleeing back to the docks where he subdued Sheed. While My'Shell and Galina engaged Loret, Sheed was able to recover and retrieved his weapon to level it at Loret. As Galina ordered Sheed to kill Loret, My'Shell received a message from Erudito that their headquarters was being attacked by Templars. As the 2 members of Erudito argued on Erudito's protocols, Loret offered to help them in order to save Charlotte de la Cruz. When they arrived to the island hideout, Loret's jet was shot down, killing Sheed in the crash. My'Shell was then used as bait by playing dead, allowing for Loret and Galina to ambush the Templars that investigated the crash site. As Loret and Galina argued about their next move, My'Shell was able to convince them that their best course was to take down the Templar ship that shot down the plane, as it prevented any escape from the island. The 3 assaulted the ship, killing all on board. Loret was badly burned during the explosion that destroyed the ship, and after informing them that he couldn't go on and that they should leave him to die, My'Shell and Galina left to continue the rescue of the people on the island. Returning to their crashed plane, My'Shell and Galina reunited with the survivors, only to find that Charlotte was not with them. Shortly after this revelation, a helicopter appeared that held the assassin rescue team of Arend Schrute Cunningham and Kiyoshi Takakura, picking them up before rescuing Charlotte from the Templars, using a mounted machine gun. By 2017, My'Shell joined the assassins fully, being placed under the mentorship of Galina. After training with her on the rooftops of London, Galina received a call from Charlotte, asking for backup after her team was murdered by an unknown group in Hong Kong. Decrypted data that Charlotte found in Hong Kong showed that Abstergo's Project Phoenix was looking for the Koh-i-Noor, leading to Charlotte entering the Animus to find the location of the historic artifact, while My'Shell worked as the Animus operator. An issue with the Animus led My'Shell to put Abstergo components in the machine while Charlotte was still inside. This led to an argument with Granerica Marneo, an Animus tech who was in Erudito with My'Shell, because he didn't have time to scrub the parts of security threats, and she could have possibly killed Charlotte. Being told this, My'Shell packed her bag and headed to Heathrow Airport, leaving Charlotte in the hands of Marneo. She flew to Geneva, Switzerland, trying to follow a money trail that led to Shannon Shipping, a subsidiary of Abstergo Industries. While at the bank itself, she was brought face to face with Juhani Otto Berg, the leader of Abstergo's Sigma team and the Templar Black Cross. Berg believed that assassins were stealing money from Abstergo, but My'Shell claimed that they were not. While Berg ran through the options of what could be going on, they were attacked by the instruments of the First Will. Even though Berg gave her a light concussion, My'Shell saved his life by taking him to the assassin hideout in London, upsetting every assassin there. After a light argument about trusting him, the assassins went to talk about the money trail that they were following and agreed to work together. Hoping to find out what the instruments of the First Will was up to, My'Shell met with My'Shell, who at this point had been confirmed to be a mole for the instruments of the First Will, and after talking with him, realized that everything they were worried about was true. The return of Juno, and where the lost Abstergo money went. All of it. After that realization, she went back to work helping Charlotte in the Animus. Eventually, Charlotte bit down on her tongue, causing Aren to pull a knife on My'Shell, not sure whose side she was on at the time. Though she was able to get Charlotte out of the Animus in time to save her life. After Berg found out where the Cui Noir was hidden, because Charlotte couldn't re-enter the Animus after her injury, My'Shell stayed in London to keep an eye on My'Shell and to continue her training. When the instruments sent a squad to retrieve My'Shell took her first life, but when she put in a corner, My'Shell saved her life, causing the two to leave the safe house and watch it burn from across the street. After a conversation about necessary evil, My'Shell left My'Shell to bleed out on the rooftop, eventually making her way back to the assassins and starting to work with Gavin Banks, looking into Abstergo's Project Lighthouse. In early 2020, My'Shell met with Aaliyah Khan, a dropout of the London School of Economics and a London card shark, while looking for information on one of her ancestors. During this initial conversation, My'Shell and Gavin told Aaliyah the truth behind Abstergo Financial and what the Animus did. My'Shell even went so far as to chastise Gavin after he made a comment that nothing bad can happen when they didn't know everything about Aaliyah or how she'd react to the Animus. Just before the Templars did find the warehouse they were working in, My'Shell and Gavin told Aaliyah that the intent of Project Lighthouse was to take over the Darknet. When the Templars did show up, Aaliyah didn't take to My'Shell assassinating a Templar well, leading to My'Shell telling her how it took the death of her best friend, whom she chose not to save, to really push herself into being an assassin. Eventually, the trio hid out in the London Zoo, deciding what their next move would be. That move, as introduced by Aaliyah, was to use equipment at Abstergo's Explore DNA Center in Soho to continue searching her ancestors' memories. Breaking into the building, Aaliyah convinced My'Shell not to kill the security guard and tied him up, then entered the VR headset that My'Shell had to disable the system's AI for Aaliyah to use. Over the course of the night, Aaliyah and My'Shell grew to know each other, eventually leading to My'Shell to look into the funds that Aaliyah lost when her business partner, Jared Eubanks, swindled her, and finding that they were overseen by Agneta Ryder, whose right-hand man at the time was Aaliyah's supposedly dead father, Fahad. Shortly after Aaliyah found the secret code in her ancestors' memories, a Templar hit squad showed up and took Gavin, knowing he was a high-ranking assassin, and left My'Shell and Aaliyah at Explore DNA. While they couldn't find any information on where they could have taken Gavin, the pair decided to see if the Explore DNA AI could track Agneta Ryder, which it did. Meeting up with her at a public outing, My'Shell was able to take down her guard and blackmailed her with information on Project Lighthouse in exchange for information on Gavin's location. This information led them to Newton Analytica, where My'Shell pretty much inducted Aaliyah into the Assassin Brotherhood by giving her a hidden blade to use while they looked for Gavin. The pair used the same AI from Explore DNA to hack the guard's smart devices to use for distractions, and off they went. When they found Gavin, Fahad shot My'Shell in the shoulder, leading to Aaliyah to eventually kill her father and save Gavin. After saving Gavin and stopping Project Lighthouse, My'Shell and Gavin gave Aaliyah time to think about her future and what she wanted with her life. Eventually, meeting with her at the same underground poker game where they first met, Leah decided to join the pair to bring down known money launderers using information that they retrieved during the mission from Sturgo Financial. After that information helped get Jared Eubanks arrested. My'Shell is one of those characters that you would not have heard of if you had only played the games, as she has never been mentioned within them. She is a character that takes a little gruff and always feels like she could be doing more. By 2020, she is a stickler for her schedule and is absolutely for equal rights, and is extremely sarcastic. Her appearance in the comics has her learning who she is and what she wants to do. It's really not until her appearance in Assassin's Creed Gold where she becomes a fully fleshed out character, and it is that character that I want to see more of in the future of the series. She's got one of those attitudes that I can get behind when it comes to the Assassins taking on the Templars. I really do hope we get a sequel to Assassin's Creed Gold, as it leaves off in a beautiful way for future sequels. But what do you think about My'Shell? Did you know who she was, or is this the first time you've heard of her? Let me know over on Twitter at visions_AC. Thank you for joining me today. Be sure to tune in every Tuesday for new episodes. If you love stories about Assassin's Creed lore, please subscribe and tell your friends about this podcast. If you have any questions about Assassin's Creed or topics that you'd like me to cover, please feel free to hit me up on Twitter and Instagram at visions_AC, and you can find those links in the show notes below. Until next time, my assassin friends, make sure to follow the creed, and to those Templars listening, may the Father of Understanding guide you.